What's going on, you guys? It's me, Kev, bringing you another Strikepack tutorial. This tutorial, I'm going to be going over something a little different. I'm going to be going over the advanced action gamepad that you see right here. Now, this is universal. You can use this with like pretty much any game, like literally any game. And I'm going to show you why. I'm pretty sure you already read the title, but going into a second slot, as you can see, you got two only options: class 1 and class 2. Left paddle, right paddle, you got turbo speed. This is going to be revolving around turbo mods. Now, in these drop down selections, you also have action repeat, action loop. I already made a video on these back in my channel. You guys can look for it. It's the action repeat and action loop. I forgot what I titled the video, but I went over these mods. These are pretty much mainly for like fighting games and side scrolling fighting games, stuff like that, like where you can like have the Strikepack record a certain sequence, like up, down, left, right, whatever, and then have it replay it over and over and over and over, or have it replay slow or fast or whatever. You would do it here. You can even record face buttons or the analog sticks and all that jazz, but I already went over that in the previous video. Now I'm going to be going over 7 through 9, which are the turbo assign, turbo button, and turbo paddle. Now I'm going to be going over for the left paddle, turbo assign. Now, turbo assign, you could read that, but pretty much turbo assign is just having assigning a button to turbo. Let's say you want to turbo square. Every time you hold square or X or whatever, you will hold square, and depending on what game you're playing, if that button is needed to be mashed or smashing it, you'll be doing it by itself. Like you could just assign turbo for that button. Quick control. So you touch pad view, blah blah blah. You could just read it, and then here the right paddle, I'm going to have turbo paddle, which sets the right paddle to be turbo. So let's say you want to be only holding down the right paddle for a certain button, square, X, or whatever. You can do so by holding down that right paddle. You can have them both, left and right to be the same thing, or anything else you wish. But you're going to be going over turbo assign for the left, just so I can show you guys the left, and then the right. Now this one, turbo button, this involves having to hold down that left paddle and the button at the same time, like whatever button you wish. So let's say you want to hold down the left paddle, triggering turbo, and you can press whatever button. You will hold down R2, square, X, whatever, and that button will be automatically pressed very fast. You pretty much have turbo for any button that's having for that left paddle. But I already explained it, but for the second video, I don't think I need to show all three, so I'm only going to show two because there's only two paddles: the turbo assign and the turbo paddle itself. Again, turbo assign is having a button assigned turbo for. It's like that when you press down on that specific button, X or square or whatever, it'll be turbolized or whatever. I don't know if that's a word. you have turbo enabled, and turbo paddle is holding down the paddle itself. Having to assign a button to that paddle, holding it down will trigger turbo. No, it's kind of confusing to understand, but I'll show you in game. And turbo speed, you could customize how fast you want the turbo to be. All the way up, it's going to be very slow, but all the way down at a 10, but that's like 10 millisecond, I guess. That's like the fastest it goes. Save configuration, save to device, and let's go to gameplay so I can show you. I'll be showing you Avengers. Just letting you guys know, a little disclaimer, I'm going to show Avengers, but again, this works with any game pretty much, like literally any game. You can have these turbo mods assigned to whatever button for any game. So you could use this literally, like let's say for like an AFK, like AFK farm is some kind of loot game or something like that, where you just want to put a rubber band wrap around the paddle and go do whatever you're going to do, come back later on or whatever. But mainly, I would say the AFK farm will be combining both. Let's say a turbo paddle with action repeat. But like I said, if you want action repeat, go check out the other channel that I went over it. And let's just go. Let's jump straight into some Avengers. Alright, you guys, now I'm here. I'm in Avengers. Now, I'm just covering it in Avengers, but it doesn't really matter what game you're playing, whatever your heart desires, using these turbo mods. Feel free to use it in any game. Whether you want to create like a EXP farm or something like that, or XP farm, whatever, generator, anything you want to come up with, you can using these paddle mods, use these turbo mods. Like AFK, idle, whatever. It's pretty dope, pretty useful. And without further ado, let's go. It involves using the right and left paddle. They are paddle mods. Now going into the gamepad, mine is on the second LED, so boom, hold that left, press the right paddle. Second slot, that's where my game pack is at. Now let's go. Now the way you go about, I have a turbo mod on the right and a turbo mod on the left. Now, as you see in the beginning, the left is going to be assigned and the right is turbo mod. Now, I'm gonna be going over the left one, so I'm gonna go from left to right. Now, the way you go about setting turbo to any of the face buttons or any button on the controller that your heart desires that you wish, you would hold the left paddle button, the left paddle, and let's say I press square. I just got a hard vibrate, and now square should be turbo. For example, in this game, this game involves you pressing square over and over and over to spam your attacks, and also triangle for heavy attacks. This is Avengers. Now, since I just applied turbo to square, all I would have to do is just hold square. See that? I'm just holding square, nothing else, not holding anything else. And Thor is continuously spamming square, slide attacks. Now, I can also assign it to triangle. Holding the left, pressing triangle, got that vibrate. Now, he is spamming his strong attacks. I have it both applied for square and triangle. Holding square, and holding triangle. That's the left paddle mod assigning turbo to any of the buttons. Now you could assign turbo again to any button on the controller you wish, even L3 and R3. Now the right paddle works a little different. It involves you pressing, holding the right small black button in the back of the strike pack. That's going to control that right paddle for you. So you want to hold it and then assign to a button. So let's say for me, I want it to be circle. So that's like a dash. That's like evade. You got to keep pressing circle to do that, to dash. Now, because you can't just hold it. See, you got to continuously press it. Now I'm going to assign circle for it. So I would hold the right small black button back strike pack, and I would press circle. I get no vibrate or anything, but circle is assigned. But in this case, this is different from the left paddle mod, because in this case, you will have to hold the right. And I'm holding the right paddle. See, I'm not holding circle or pressing circle, but I am holding the right paddle. So let's say I want to assign for square now. I would hold the right, come on, focus. I'll hold the right back button, back of the strike pack, and press square. And now if I'm holding the right paddle, he is now spamming square for me. See how that works, guys? These are two of the dopest like mods that's been ever brought to Strikepack, because you could pretty much use it in like every game, literally. If you could think of a way that could be beneficial and useful, then you know these paddle mods will work greatly in your favor. And that's how you do it. The left one will be auto assign. It's like that when you hold a button, it'll automatically spam it for you. And the right paddle version is holding the right paddle. It consists of holding the right paddle in. So let's say you want to be AFK, you have to like wrap a rubber band around it. And yeah, that's it. Those are two best of the best turbo mods that has ever been brought to the Strike Pack. So now you guys know how to assign it, you guys know how to use it. Now depending on what game you want to use it for and what reason, that is on you. That is on you to figure out and go test out and have fun. So if this video helped you out, drop me a like, support your boy, subscribe if you are new, check out my other content. I cover all Strike Pack and Corona Zen and future, next gen. And I'm out. Stay safe, everybody. Peace.